unexpectedly. And yeah, had to deal with that. So, welcome to the reading today. And if anybody wants to be able to purchase a question or donate, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wish list in the description box below. Really appreciate that. So appreciate anybody who likes, comments, shares, or subscribes as well. All of that really helps me out so much. Thank you guys for being here to support me and trusting me to guide you on your journey. I really appreciate you guys, and you make a very big impact in my life as well. So, Sleeping Beauty is coming to mind for a minute. And waking up. There could be somebody in the past who has done some sort of graveyard magic. Something to do with sacrificing you in some sort of way to gain some sort of money, or maybe even trying to push you towards spending in excess in some sort of way. Curiosity is healthy and natural. Listen to your intuition at this time. Which way now? You might be having to put your foot down in some sort of situation in order to achieve success. We have 88, financial success, no longer bound. Abundance, hard work pays off. Breaking cycles, you have freed yourself. Believe in magic. I don't blame you if you move on. I'm a mess. Who are you? Who am I? What are we doing? At some point, somebody could feel like they're drowning, and they may really feel like they have absolutely nobody to call or reach out to in some sort of way. But know that taking those steps to reach out in that way is going to be very beneficial for you. There's going to be a lot of beauty and abundance coming in that you may not have even seen just behind the corner. Strange feelings, foreign thoughts. You might be going through a lot right now. You may be dealing with some things that you've never really dealt with before, and those things are going to help you to level up. They're going to help you to learn some extra things that maybe you didn't know before. It's only meant for you. This path seems crazy, but you know it's your real path that you're on. It's all real, as unique as your own fingerprint. So your path and your destiny is as unique as your own fingerprint. If anybody has been trying to do anything to be able to walk your path or to be able to knock you off your path in some sort of way, that's not going to be able to happen, because where you are meant to go and meant to be going is for you alone. Candle magic for protection and to pray may be something very beneficial for you at this time. Think about what the colors of the candles represent, and think about your intentions as you're lighting those candles. Make sure that your intentions are pure and it's not about hurting anyone else or anything along those lines, but only about becoming your best self and healing and growing, learning, protecting, sending back anything that's coming your way from others. All those kinds of things are going to be very beneficial for you right now. So let's see what others. And you know what? There could also be a situation right now as well where you might be coming into a love connection and it may be making you extremely nervous. It's time to believe in magic and to know that anything is possible if you believe. Also, make sure that you are setting your boundaries, speaking your mind, expressing your truth, and not just allowing anything to be okay if it's not okay with you. So, let's see what other messages we have. She-wolf. Little Red walked through the woods, surveying all the local goods. In a spooky foreign town, behind every tree waits a clown. The wolves around her stalked their prey. The good people just looked the other way. Thrown to the wolves, they thought she was done, but she stood her ground and didn't run. She rose up leading the pack. The wolf inside no longer held back. So, there's definitely some situations right now. 1/9/22. You may be feeling like you're to that last straw and everything is just going to come falling apart or something along those lines, but you're very aligned with where you're supposed to be right now. And it's been a rough path behind you. But there is definitely a lot of balance, harmony, peace, and stability coming in for you. And a lot of that is because of your strength, your inner strength and your inner peace, and the way that you have really been able to guide and lead. You're very inspiring to others as well. You're going to be coming out of whatever it is that you have been in for such a long time. I love these new cards. These new cards are awesome. So, the Magician in this deck represents a healer who has the ability to be able to facilitate in the healing of others, but they have to want to and choose to heal as well. If they are not wanting to heal, they are not choosing to heal, then her power does nothing. But if they are wanting to heal and they are choosing to heal, then her power can facilitate that. We have the Egyptian sun god on the sun card as well. So you might want to look up the Egyptian sun god for any extra meanings there. Everything's going to be being made clear, exposed, seen. You're going to be seeing the truth. And it may be a hard truth to swallow. It's kind of like the Matrix when you take the red pill or the blue pill. Hi, Rashima. Nice to see you. It's like on the Matrix when you take the red pill or the blue pill. You're very welcome, love. Thank you as well. I really appreciate your encouragement and time too. You're going to be feeling very happy, very joyous. You're going to be getting more, or becoming more outgoing again. You might have been tucking yourself away for a time period, especially if you have dealt with a lot of gang stalking, gossip, drama, chaos, BS, people attacking you in some sort of way. You're really going to be seeing the truth of the matter in some sort of way, and you're going to be seeing that you are the magic wand. You are the genie's bottle. People are extremely lucky to have you in their life, and if they are not going to live up to what you need your partner to be, then you're not going to be settling for things that are dragging you down. You're going to be looking for more things that are leveling you up, and you're no longer going to feel guilty about that or ashamed of it. You're no longer going to feel like you're in the wrong for deciding that you deserve better and moving towards it. You're welcome again. So, sometimes you have to make the hard decisions, the tough decisions in the leadership role that you're in. You had to really find that masculine side of yourself so that you could really be strong when the time came for you to be strong. The first thing I'm thinking about with this sword stuck in the stone, only one person can pull this sword out of this stone. That was the destiny of that one person. It doesn't mean nobody else has a powerful destiny. It doesn't mean nobody else has a strong purpose. It doesn't mean that anybody's purpose is less great than anybody else's, but this purpose specifically is for you. And nobody can take that away from you. But at the same time, you do have to stand and defend it. A good king makes the best decisions for everyone involved in a situation, even though sometimes they may be very painful decisions. They have to be made in order for the king to move forward. So let's see what else we have. We have the Hierophant. And we have the King of Wands. There could be something to do with institutions that is being exposed, something to do with people in positions of law that may be getting exposed. Somebody's stubbornness may be holding them back in some sort of way. Your stubbornness may be holding you back in some way. Your pride maybe from going after what you want. You know what you want and it's time to act on it. It's time to go for it. It's time to really get yourself in gear. What inspires you, what motivates you, what causes you to feel like there is a reason to live and a purpose to live. Because that is the most important thing in your life. And it's time to take action to create that. So we have the wolf, we have the phoenix, and we have the stingray. Funny that on top of the she-wolf poem comes out the wolf. So, you have the ability to be somebody who leads by example. And that's what you're doing right now. It's time to step up and lead by that example. It's time to become who you were meant to be. and to show others how it's done. Now, when you lead by example, that means that you're not forcing your way onto others. You're not shoving it down their throat. You're not telling them how they should be living their life. Instead, you're living your life the way you see fit. And others follow after. It causes a very strong rebirth rippling effect around you, which is also why you end up being put in so many situations as you do, because you're being put in those situations so that you can learn from it, grow from it, level up from it. And then the people that are around you have their shot to do the same, because you are the one facilitating this healing by this example you leave behind. Standing by your purpose, standing by your path, and staying in alignment is very important for you. Defending the position that you're in is not something that you necessarily need to do, because it's already defended. It's already your position. Nobody can take it from you. 11:11 was just on the clock. You are very aligned with your position. Another good thing, if you are coming into any kind of connection or love relationship of any sort, is to remember that the more aligned we each are with our path and our purpose, and the more we're able to stand strong on our own, the much better of a partnership it's going to be, the much stronger of a partnership it's going to be. And it's going to be something that is like a power couple, because these are two extremely strong beings that came together, and they don't make each other weaker. They actually make each other stronger as they're standing by each other's side. Both can live their life, both can follow their purpose, and both are supported by the one that they love, because neither one is in competition, neither one's jealous, neither one's bitter, and nobody's trying to tear anybody down out of insecurities. That's why we had to go through all the things that we went through to make sure to get rid of all those insecurities that were floating around inside of us and dragging us down, causing us to act towards people that we love in ways that we are not necessarily proud of, but really did happen. Thank you so much, Grow with Tori. I'm glad you decided to change your name. I love the new name. And if anybody didn't know, she does have a channel on here as well. If you guys are drawn to me and resonate with me, you probably would with her as well. She's been over here for a little while, and you know, I resonate with her quite well. So, let's see what else we got for messages today. Caring. Caring for others is no easy task. If you need help, just ask. Leave your worries up to us. No need to make a fuss. We got your back until the end. Our loyalty will never bend. Sometimes you need love and care too. Pay attention to the clue. When red flags and triggers arise, grab a tissue and dry those eyes. Then reach out to those that you love. Pray and ask for solace from above. 3/12/21. And you know what? About a week and a half ago, I was doing just that. I told them that I need help. I need somebody here with me tonight. I need somebody who cares, and I need to see the love in this fucking world, because right now, it's really hard to find any. I had 2 people that checked on me repeatedly over the course of, and I was like, and not spiritual ones. I get it. I'm not alone. I know they're there all the time, but I need some fucking physical proof too. I need some people that love and care. Where are these people? For 2 days, there was one person that stayed with me for 2 days and took me where he was going. And the other one messaged me regularly to make sure that I was okay and I was doing good. And that was the sign. That was the answer to my prayer. And they even, a couple days later, they're like, hey, we answered your prayers. You had somebody there that cared in your dark time. And then I also told my kids, who every time I start feeling any way for anybody, there's complications there. And I was like, you know what? You may not be liking this person a whole lot right this minute, but this person was with me through one of the darkest times I've had recently. And it was nice to just have somebody there for me in that way. So remember that when you are trying to hate this person. because they may not be living life the way that everybody else feels that they should be living life. Choices. You chose another, I let you walk. I still feel weak when you talk. You wore my heart on a string. The look in your eyes made my soul sing. I let my love freely take flight. With it that strong, how could I fight? I'll always remember the feelings I felt. You broke through and made my heart melt. Close to me, I felt your vibe. In you, I let myself imbibe. From now on, your spot is secure, but from you it will be kept for sure. Brother is what you will be now. After everything, I will not bow. But your friendship means the world to me, and that is why I let you fly free. 9/17/20. So, there could definitely be somebody from the past as well that you could have been in like a friends with benefits situation with, or it could have even been more, but you guys were really good friends before it started. And then a lot of stuff may have happened after it ended to where everything got torn apart. This person may make a new appearance in your life. And you might want to remember that you made a promise to yourself that this person came in a dark time in your life, and they could have brought life back to you in some sort of way. No matter the hard things or awful things that happened between you, this person really could have brought in a lot of good energy when they came into your life, and it could have really brought you back to life again when you could have really needed it at that point in time. And it could have been an answer to a prayer in some sort of way. But you guys may not have been, meant to be together. At the same time, there may have been a lot of love shared between you. So keep that as your forefront focus when it comes to dealing with this person if they come back in. Remind yourself and remember that this person was a very important person in your life at one time, and they may have done some very good things for you, even if bad things happened between you and muddied that water. Maybe that water can be cleaned once again. So let's see. The Moon, the Hierophant, Page of Cups. Somebody may hold a lot of secret love or emotions for you. There may be a lot more under the surface than was seen. There may be secrets as well that are getting ready to be exposed. Truths that are getting ready to come out. Things that you have known through your intuition for some time now. You may have brought a lot of healing into the life of this person too. Caused them to see things in a different way. You may have taught this person a lot. You may have been a very strong teacher or role model in their life. You may have taught them how to love again without the scars and the pain getting in the way. And vice versa. To just jump into that childlike energy, that silly, laughing, playful, fun energy. It's time to find that energy again yourself. And this red string here is reminding me of the red string that holds two soulmates together, but this string is free on both ends. It's not even tied around his leg. It's just free on both ends. Some people are meant to be free as well. Some people are meant to be unencumbered as they move and teach and learn and grow. Especially when it comes to like children. Children are free and they're moving and roaming and learning and growing and exploring. And sometimes that's necessary for that emotional growth. Sometimes it's necessary to be able to freely explore your world around you, to be able to heal a lot of the things that you have gone through, and also to be able to teach others. There's also a song called Grow As We Go. Both sides are possible. Some people feel like the only way that you can grow is when you're on your own. But you can just as easily grow right next to somebody if they're wanting to grow too, and if they're okay with your growth. If they're not upset that you changed, because we're supposed to. Or if you're not upset that they stayed the same, because sometimes people do. You're welcome, guys. I really love you guys so much. This has been a crazy couple months. I'll say that much. Fucking crazy going on over here in this world. And I'm pretty sure that my collective has been dealing with some crazy too. Lots and lots of it. But we are adapting. We're becoming more flexible. We're becoming more go with the flow. We're able to let go a bit more and just enjoy life. There really is a need to watch out for when you're clinging on too tightly to certain things, especially when those certain things are supposed to be free-flowing. And when others are clinging on too tightly to you because you're supposed to be free-flowing in that way. When you start clinging on too tightly, that beautiful childlike energy, it dissipates and disappears because that fear replaces it. And it causes you to constantly be reaching out and trying to grab a hold of anything that'll keep you afloat instead of realizing that you're doing just fine. You're riding down this river in your raft and everything's going to be fine. I'm going to enjoy this ride. Yeah, sure, sometimes accidents happen, but for the most part, people make it out of that river alive. The tides are definitely changing. Although I will say this much. There's been a big focus from my guides on praying for the healing of those who have hurt me. Please forgive me for my trespasses as I have forgiven those who have trespassed against me. If I want to be forgiven for the things that I have done, that I know I have done, that have hurt people around me because of the pain that I had inside of me, then I need to be able to forgive them for the hurt that they have caused with the pain that was inside of them. Praying for the healing and praying for the forgiveness of those who have hurt you is a very important thing. And yes, there are those that have hurt us very deeply. They have hurt us in ways that can never be changed or taken back. They've hurt us in ways that have molded us into who we are today. And without them, we wouldn't be who we are. Not necessarily sending them a thank you. But what I am saying is I hope that they heal so that they are not hurting anybody else the way that they have hurt me. And so they are no longer hurting themselves either the way that they've hurt me. Because you can guarantee when they are hurting people, they are hurting themselves too. You could have definitely dealt with a lot of people that were very shallow, emotionally closed off, hot and cold, in and out. You never know what's going on because it's always up and down, and their emotions are so well hidden and tucked away. Some of them you may have even felt were completely shallow and superficial. There was one at one point recently that I didn't even know if that person could cry. Honestly, I almost felt like they were a sociopath, especially with some of the things that had happened. And when that person saw me with somebody, that I had finally decided to start a relationship with somebody, there were tears in his eyes. Sometimes there's a lot more under the surface than you think there is. But if you're so busy trying to hold on to the person or trying to whatever the situation, control it in whatever way, then sometimes you miss some of those things that are actually there. Exactly. I do get angry at times. Everybody gets angry at times, but you know, I have a tendency to deal with it on my own. And if I do need to say something to them, I will make sure that I take some time to calm down and reflect on the situation first so that I can say something that is not just tearing the person apart, because I can do that. I can tear somebody apart with my words and they will be all true. So there's no denying even what I'm telling to them. There was a great experience with my kids this weekend. An absolutely awesome one. So they brought me over a late Christmas present. Ooh, which happens to be this jewelry box and the necklace I'm wearing, which, ooh, if I can get it in here, maybe, I was trying to. I think I got it. There we go. So, they brought me a necklace and it says mom on it, and it has my 2 kitties, my 2 dogs, and them all on it with their birthstones. But this weekend or on Tuesday, I went with them to Taco Bell because usually we go over to Taco Bell and have some dinner before my daughter goes to Children's Grace. And we were talking about a lot of stuff. I have read every Taco Bell hot sauce there is, every single one of them. And there has never been one that said, sorry, mom. And the moment I saw it, I looked at her and she's like, yep, that was me. We are manifestors. We are quite capable of making this world be whatever we want it to be. Hackers into the simulation, I guess. But it's now in my jewelry box because now I have somewhere to keep it. Last night they brought over that jewelry box and that necklace because it was a Christmas present that got here late. And their dad was like, maybe we should wait till Mother's Day. And my oldest daughter was like, no, I think mom needs it right now. And it's because we had had that conversation about the person that she was hating on that was there for me through some darkness that I was going through. And so she was like, I think she needs it right now. Definitely a great gift. And exactly, it has nothing to do with me and everything to do with them. When people are lashing out at you, attacking you, hurting you, it's because they are hurting and they are going through a lot right now. And that doesn't make it okay. It doesn't excuse it. I mean, people still should not be treating people that way. But sometimes people do when they're hurt. If we stay stuck on it forever, then that poison kills us, not them. Come on, move your little butt. There was also another teaching moment I got to have with my daughter this week because she's like, she told me she doesn't want me to die. And it has to do with the cigarettes, probably somewhat the lifestyle too. And I was like, well, you know, everybody dies though. And even if I do die, I am always right here with you, period. It's the way it works. And even if you die, you're always right here with me. I was like, and I know that's why you've been so mean about the cigarettes for a while now. I was like, why do you think I've been so mean at points about the food? Because you're doing the same thing. And I don't want you to die either. So the next pack of cigarettes I get, I'm going to get some of the natural cigarettes. And we're going to see if that helps. I'll still have something to smoke, and then I should be able to get rid of it easier because there's no nicotine in it. Awesome. Thank you, sweetheart. Ooh. So, let's see what other messages we have today. I lost my bag, but I still luckily have a whole bunch of poems over here. Manifestation, ones we haven't seen in a long time. Open your eyes and you will see everything to set you free. You have it all with you now, so pull it out and take a bow. No more waiting for the day or looking for another way. You have all you need inside. Sit back and ride the ebb and flow of the tide. 10/22/21. So, right now is when the collective is starting to realize that they can affect this reality far more than they ever thought was possible. All that logic aside, faith is what's guiding this ride right now. And you're going to start seeing some crazy things happen that you've never seen happen before. Ones that confirm everything that we're talking about right now. That you are quite capable of being able to manifest into this reality. And all it takes is the power of your mind. Your willpower, your determination, the power of your mind. Knowing what you want and making it happen. Make sure that you are remembering the consequences of those actions as well, though. Thank you, beautiful. Empath mirrors. When you're a mirrors, when you're a mirror for others to see, sometimes it's not so very easy. Others can't always deal with looking inside the darkness there that does reside. So they lash out at you as if it's your fault for finding what they have in a vault. Don't take it personally when others flee. Find a way to set yourself free. Intimidation is also there. I know at times it doesn't seem fair. Try to know who you are. Don't take their judgments too far. Release yourself from their pain. Holding on to it can't be a gain. There's a movie on YouTube called The Shamer's Daughter as well. Great movie. Basically, she's literally a mirror for people. She can see right down inside of them to their very core, and they can see straight down inside of them to their very core when she looks at them. There's a lot of them that go a little bit insane and freak out or something like that, and people blame her. But, really, it's their own actions that have caused them to be this way. And so if people are trying to put their blame at your door because they don't want to accept and take accountability and responsibility for what they got going on, that is definitely not on you. You know who you are. You don't need to prove who you are. You don't need to scream it from the rooftops. Just be who you are. And know that people will start to see from the outside, even if at first they don't, how important you are in this world. The Five of Cups. Death. And Temperance. The curtains are being pulled back. And there's going to be a massive transition and transformation on the way that people see the story that was going on behind the curtains, because they may not have known what was going on behind the scenes. And everybody just came up with their own conclusions and opinions from the distorted view from outside. I actually put this lovely cloth over my mirror yesterday, and it's reminding me of that because I was like, I didn't have a mirror for 2 years, and something told me I needed to block the vision coming in. Well, I didn't fully block it because it is see-through. But I transformed that vision that's coming in, and it's a distorted vision now, a distorted view. So they're not going to be seeing what's really going on, but they're going to be coming to their own conclusions. And I feel like a lot of those people are going to be exposing themselves for the lies and the gossip and the rumors that may have been going on, all the things that they may have said they knew about you that they really had no clue what was going on behind the scenes. They may not have known that you were in such a stable, peaceful, balanced energy, taking care of everything that you had going on while remaining very calm. You have the ability to really take care of everything that's going on in your life, and you don't need to feel like you are somehow lacking, because you definitely are not. Sometimes it's a fun mirror, completely distorted. Yep. The skeleton key just came to mind when you mentioned seeing a movie like that. Where you place your faith is extremely important. Place your faith in yourself and your guides, and know that you are doing a really good job. There may have been a lot of crying over the past and what was left behind, but I feel like a lot of that is healing at this time. This Cancer full moon in the Mercury retrograde, wow. It's definitely been creating so many transformations in your emotions, in your attitude, in your ability to be able to let go and leave the past behind so that you can see the beautiful new beginnings in front of you. Because there are so many beautiful new beginnings in front of you. It may take a little bit of patience and effort and dedication and commitment, but those new beginnings are going to blossom into something amazing as soon as you take the time to see them. Six of Swords, Strength, and the High Priestess. So, thank you so much, beautiful. And thank you for the tip as well. Yeah, you're leaving behind any of the depression. You may have been going through some seasonal depression for some of you as well. That one's been a little bit rough for me this year. You're leaving that behind. You are getting out there more, enjoying life more. You may be bridging the gap between yourself and some people and really bringing the intentions and the energy back to love in your relationships or situations. Awesome. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Thank you again. So you have the strength, you have the courage to be able to get through this. And also notice that this tiny little woman is sitting next to this lion, petting him and making him purr. Beauty and the Beast is coming to mind too. People are not always necessarily going to be perfect. And when it comes to dealing with some people, violence is their nature in some sort of way. So that they can, if you think about it, from the beginning of time, men have been protecting their family and those that they love through violence. And so, there's a lot of that that gets left behind. There's no place for them to even siphon it these days, except for into things like art or, exercise or all kinds of other things. There is other things for them to siphon it into, but it's not the same things that it used to be. But it's that eternal peace that you have inside of you, that courageous energy, and that strength that you have inside you to handle your own problems so that others don't have to handle them for you, that causes this lion to just be able to lay down and relax and be in a calm state because they don't feel like there's anything that they have to worry about. They don't feel like there's anything that they have to attack. That's why trust is so important in a relationship as well. There's been a lot of people that are like thinking that I'm going to be stealing their man from them or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of people that get really jealous. There's a lot of people that think their boyfriends are sleeping with me or crap like that. And there's none of that going on, but they think that. And it's all inside themselves. So there was this one woman, though. She called, or her husband and me were friends because he worked at the Maverick that I was staying behind for a while. And me and him talked a lot about a lot of his trauma and a lot of his abuse and things like that. So he messages me one day and asks if we can go out to lunch. And his wife and his kid, I thought were coming with him. And then he mentioned something the next day that it was just going to be me and him. And I was like, does your wife know? I realized there's nothing going on between us. And I know that. And you know that. And I would think she knows that too. But if we start going to lunch and not letting her know about it, then she's probably going to think something's up. And he's like, oh yeah, she knows about it. She's the one who told me to invite you. So when they got there the next day, she's like, you know what? I just want to tell you thank you because I knew that inviting you was a good idea because you'd never do that. And you proved me right through the messages you sent my husband. People are going to see you how they're going to see you. And their distorted vision of you a lot of times comes from something inside of themselves. And, the really bad part is that guy had cheated on her a few times. But she knew that being with me, that's not what he was going to be doing. And that's because she had talked to me, not a lot either, really. A handful of times for short amounts of times, but just in those short amount of times, she had actually gotten to know me. And she didn't let the past hurt or pain from others determine who the person sitting in front of her was. But a lot of times we can do that, ourselves included. We can take those past people and those past hurts and those past pains, and it can distort our vision of the person standing in front of us. But if we are able to overcome that and see the truth in that person standing in front of us, sometimes it can be a very beautiful and amazing experience. So if you sent that for a question, you can put your question down there anytime, sweetheart. And if not, extra thank you. So let's see what else we have to talk about today. blank page. Every day you wake up is a blank page. And you get to write on that page whatever you want to write on that page. It doesn't matter what the page before it says. It doesn't matter what you were doing. It doesn't matter where you were going. It doesn't matter what journey you were on. Any day you can wake up and decide, this is the way I want to go today. Every day you have that power inside of you to make the changes that you feel like are necessary in your life to create and bloom new things and amazing things. The end. I get to be the pain this time. I hear it now, a warning chime. Bells a whistle blowing now, truth is revealing itself somehow. It always does, you know. If you lied, how can you crow? Paint a picture pretty and pretend. You should have known the facade would end. I'm not everyone else you see. Truth is always set free for me. Why does everyone seem to lie? How much they hate themselves. I could cry. Showing fake cards that you have to play. I guess every shark needs to have their day. I knew something was off from the start, but storytelling to you is a pure art. Closing the gap on what is real, can't blame me for what I don't feel. I fell in love with lies, not even really the pretty kind. You and I are not aligned. Maybe if you could have been true, maybe if I listened to my mind that spoke yet another clue. Was just trying to open up, but now it's time to fill my own cup, to walk away from another one. At least we had a little fun. Remember when I'm gone, the pain I laid. It started with lies, the ones that you made. So, you're also no longer regretting or feeling guilty or sad or upset about the people that you had to walk away from, the connections that you had to end because of the lies that they told, because of who they pretended to be, or because they tried to get in close to you for whatever reason. You might be realizing that it is time now for you to be the pain for someone else in your life, too, that could be acting in the same manner at this current moment. Thank you, ML. And if anybody wants to be able to find the poems, I have all the poems on my other channel, D Storytime, in the description box below. I forget to say that a lot. I haven't been on there to put new ones on there in a little while either. It has been a long, long winter this year. So we got the Nine of Wands, Temperance, Four of Cups, the King of Cups, and Death again. So the transformations that have been going on in your life, and the transformations that have been going on in other people's lives around you. There's a lot of people that are noticing, realizing, understanding, and seeing what they had standing in front of them the entire time. They may have saw it as something very shallow or something with no depth really, or something along those lines. And a lot of that was because they were avoiding that depth. They were avoiding opening up and expressing themselves, whether that's you or other people around you. Somebody has been avoiding expressing themselves, avoiding connecting to people emotionally. Really not noticing, appreciating, or seeing those around them that were there while they were down, while they were out, while they were upset and in pain. And now that they're getting better and they're breaking free from any of the things that were holding them back, they are starting to see the magic that was there, the beauty that was there. They may even want to come in and express their emotions and express their truth about how they feel, now that they aren't worried that the storm will take them out if they do. They've gone through a lot, and they were almost buried in this mess. But this mess that they thought they were almost buried in is what brought them back to life again. It helped them to grow. It helped them to become fertile again and abundant again. It helped them to be able to transform the way that they were handling things, the way that they were dealing with people. They really thought that their life was miserable because of outside circumstances, but their life was miserable because they locked everyone out of their life. 4444 is on the clock. They locked everyone out of their life. And of course it was miserable while they were sitting there alone. Maybe they didn't feel like they deserved to have people that were behind them and had their back. Maybe they didn't feel like they wanted to put their pain on anybody. Maybe they got hung up on small little things that had to do with superficial things. But whatever it was, this distance they kept between themselves and others out of fear that they would drown in the water of the emotions coming through was a fear that wasn't real. And at the end of the day, what was real was the love and the emotions that they felt. And this transformation that they're going through right now has leveled them up and allowed them to mature emotionally very greatly. And now they may be really wanting to express the feelings that they actually have and the feelings that they actually felt, regardless of the character that they were playing at the time. Kissed by the Rose on the Grave is a really good song. That's the one that's coming to mind right now. It's amazing what a winter of isolation can do for some people. That time away and that coldness coming at you, and the depths of hell that you explore within your own mind when you're in that state can really shift, change, and alter your perception of the world around you. We have the Three of Cups, the Queen of Coins, the Knight of Wands, and the Page of Coins. And also, you may have been realizing a lot as well how much your value is, how much your worth is, what you're going to accept, what you aren't going to accept, what you're going to support and what you're not going to support, where your time is best spent, where your energy is best spent. You may also be realizing that a third party is not always somebody they are sleeping with or somebody they're having a relationship with in the background. It can also be many different variety of things. You might also be noticing and realizing that some of the people around you may have never made that move because they felt like you were worth far more than what they had to offer. And for some of you, this could actually even be a financial thing. Some of these people were like, oh, I don't have any money to offer to this situation, so this person is not going to accept me and they're not going to want me around. Some people could have projected their own bullshit from the past or from other people who have hurt them onto you, causing you to appear to be a gold digger if that's the case. And it could even just be that you may have dealt with people who did not have the loyalty or the commitment, who did not support you and offer their kindness and their commitment or their loyalty or their honesty. And you could have been extremely honest with a lot of people. Very loyal, committed, solid. You're really going to be dancing and enjoying life. You may be getting invited out to events. You may be having to deal with a lot of people that are coming at you for the wrong reasons. And a lot of the reason that you went through everything that you did is so that you can discern that better. You can see it better. You can understand it better. And you can know when it's happening. Because I feel like in the past, you may have accepted a lot of offers that were just looking for something from you that they didn't feel like they had inside themselves and weren't really caring what cost that came at for you. At the end of the day, all of that made you stronger, though. It made you wiser. It made you into somebody who really sees what's going on around you and you understand it much better. You also may be somebody who really enjoys being able to go out and have a good time. And if that's the case, some people can feel extremely bad about that in some sort of way, or like it's not right to be doing those things. But living your life is something that's very important. We only have so long here. And being able to explore, being able to test out those boundaries, being able to look into the things that you don't know anything about, being able to do some of the things that you would really like to do before you're out of here is something that's extremely important. So the song right now that's coming to mind, Live Like You Were Dying. I hope someday you get the chance to live like you were dying. Because people, when they find out they're dying and they're like, oh, I only got 6 months to live, they start doing some crazy shit. Maybe that shit's not so crazy. Maybe that's shit that they've wanted to do for a long time that they avoided doing because they needed to take care of responsibilities or whatever the case may be. And it might be time for you to start doing some of those things while you're alive and enjoying them, enjoying living while you're alive. So, for your question, what makes you romantically attractive? Your hair is the first thing that popped into my mind as I was sitting here. Is your hair curly? Thank you so much, beautiful. I really appreciate you as well. And your words are definitely extremely inspiring and uplifting at times yourself. So let's see. What makes you romantically attractive? We got Aries. You might be a little bit combative. You might be somebody that once you have your eyes on the target, you are going for it. Everything else be damned. You are somebody who's very bold, very daring, and you express yourself very fully. Your mouth sometimes might get you into trouble a little bit. What are you thinking? 1,000 miles away, always. Try living with it. So you bring peace to a lot of people as well. When people are overthinking things or are worried about things, upset about things, you may bring in a very peaceful energy to them, and you really help people to see things in a different perspective and to understand things in a different perspective. I love you so much. Coming home to you each night is a dream come true. Please don't let past pain, scars, anxiety, jealousy, or anything else get in the way. Find peace, my love, and I will try to as well. Believe in what we have. I do. Stay focused on you and your goals. Try not to let me be a distraction from your life, and I will try to do the same as well. I hope that we will have an amazing future, but I don't know, and neither do you. That can be scary, but allow that fear to be fuel and not a roadblock. So, I feel like you are somebody who allows that fear to be transformed into fuel. You allow it to cause you to want to be a better person, and you allow it to cause you to look into why you are afraid of certain things or why you might be feeling like certain things are going on. And you have a tendency to look for proof before you accuse as well. The Ace of Coins, the Two of Coins, and the World. So you could be extremely good with children as well. You might be somebody who is very good at paying attention to multiple things at a time. Like say you have two dogs in front of you and they both love you and they both want your attention and they're both vying for it and getting a little jealous. You know how to solve that disagreement and that jealousy. You know how to put them at ease. You have enough time and enough energy to give to both so that both feel comfortable and at peace. So when it comes to, like, say you have a partner and you guys have a friend around, you know how to give both of them an equal amount of attention to where they don't feel left out or they don't start feeling jealous or unsure of your affections for them. You're very good at being able to put people at ease when it comes to that. And I feel like you also are somebody that respects that in return, because you may have some of those things yourself that happen at times when people are showing favoritism when it comes to the people around you. You're also somebody who's very good at breaking cycles and being able to, you're very good at healing. You're very good at bringing the world to life around you. And you're also somebody who's very loyal, very committed, very dedicated to what it is that you choose. You're very honest and solid, and you make a good opportunity for others as well. They see you as a good opportunity for growth, for support, for strength, for stability, and for solidity in their lives. You're somebody who picks up and accumulates a lot of wisdom from everywhere you go and everything that you do. And you don't just hoard all that wisdom to yourself, you give it out to people. You're a very strong teacher. Although sometimes you might get a little bit snappy when people aren't listening. I've been there before. You're also somebody who picks up on things that a lot of other people miss as well. You may have dealt with a lot of people that have been out for blood in some sort of way. And the way that you have dealt with them shows your intelligence and shows your knowledge and wisdom. People really do love the knowledge and wisdom that you have, the understanding that you have of the world around you, the understanding of the people that you have, and how you are able to help people overcome and break a lot of cycles that they have. Thank you again for your purchase, sweetheart. And if anybody else wants to be able to make a purchase or donate, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wish list in the description box below. And if you make a payment, just throw your question down below and I will answer it as we're going through the collective reading. So let's see what else we got today for our messages. Money is coming to me now in every way, shape, and form, enough to take care of it all. Scripting is something that could be very important for you. Writing down your ideas is going to be something that's very important for you. Believing that what you put your time, effort, energy, and attention to is going to grow something beautiful. Also focusing on peace and focusing on everyone we come into contact with has parts of ourself within them, and we have parts of them within us. The differences between us can sometimes be extremely highlighted, but it might be time to focus on those things that we have in common as well. Yeah, I can do that. It would be kind of nice. So, the song True Colors is coming to mind right now from Trolls. I've been listening to that one a lot lately. When you see someone's true colors, you can really watch them bloom into life. But when you're so focused on what the world tells you to believe about certain people, then you may get lost in those beliefs, and it may ruin a lot of good things in your life. So it might be time to check into yourself and what you believe about things instead of what the world around you believes about things. Ooh, delayed in the chat, huh? When the electronics around me stop working so well, it's really annoying sometimes, although I will say that a lot of times my energy interacts with them. When I was younger, I used to wear a lot of watches, and the only one that I could get to last for 6 months or more was the Bum Equipment watches. They don't make those ones anymore. But all of them would shock out, like, immediately. I have that effect sometimes on electronics, so when that's going on with my electronics, I like to take a couple deep breaths and make sure that I cleanse my energy and make sure that, you know, there's no kind of anxiety or anything like that going on. And it tends to help my electronics function a lot better. Energy is transferable, right? So if you're in really high energy that's messing up things for you and you start touching other things, that energy is transferred from you to those other things, whether they be living or not. Release the anger. It is poison. Indignation fuels your path. Don't give in to a life of wrath. Instead, sink down to your knees. You're never alone. We'll hear your pleas. Shine like the light that you're meant to be. Shine bright enough for all to see. Rise above, take the high road. Take a minute to see the bigger code. Be who you are and not what they want. Remember the responsibility of the Hierophant. Your power is great. Be careful how you use it. Think twice before the fuse is lit. 2:16:21. So, we've been talking a fair amount about anger today and how it can sometimes destroy a lot of things. Anger is a good emotion, and anger is something that needs to be felt in this world. If it wasn't for anger, there wouldn't have been a lot of the changes that have been made in this world. Somebody had to get angry about it, angry enough to fight. But when you fight without thinking and you do it impulsively, it doesn't really make the changes that you're seeking. When you take some time to deal with your anger and you take some time to really think it out and make a plan, then you have the tendency to be able to make a far greater change and impact on the world around you. So, let's see. Four of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Two of Wands. Going after what you want is an extremely good thing. And dealing with that anger, acknowledging that anger, understanding it, and expressing it is also extremely important. Bottling it up isn't going to work. Because when you bottle it up, you see the volcano in the background there. When you bottle it up, it gets even worse. And it bubbles and bubbles and bubbles until it explodes. And it explodes all over everybody around you. So ignoring it's not a good idea. But expressing it when you're in that state is not the best idea either. So taking a little bit of time to be able to think things through is always good. It may feel like that's a trap, or it may feel like things never get addressed that way, but they do if you actually take the time to come up with that plan of action and go after it to create the changes that you want to happen. You might be in two minds about certain things in your life and unsure of which direction to go. Deep down, though, you know exactly what it is that you want. You may be having a hard time to break out of some of the things that have been making you feel tied up or making you feel like you can't express yourself in some sort of way. That Bitch by B. Miller is the song that's coming to mind right now. You might even be feeling like people wouldn't listen or wouldn't hear you or would be upset at you or angry with you for being who you are and expressing what you want and taking the steps to go after it. But taking these steps to go after what it is that you want is going to bring a lot of abundance and fertility into your life. Sure, there are people that will fall away, and sure, there are situations that are going to drop off. But if that happens, then those people weren't meant to go with you on the path that you are going on right now. And sometimes there's meant to be that separate journey before things come back together as well, like we were discussing earlier, so that everybody can find their strength in that separated position. So, forgiveness for the past. The past may be attacking you in some sort of way, causing you to feel paralyzed, causing you to feel stuck or trapped, causing you to question what you're growing now and the seeds that you've been planting. But it's time to have faith and to understand that those seeds that you've been planting are going to reap beautiful rewards. Even in those situations that were on and off, hot and cold, in and out, or those situations where there was cheating or there, whatever the case may be, the love that you gave in those situations never went to waste. It never went to waste. Every bit that you put into those situations was growing you into what you are now. It was also growing your ability to have that kindness, that compassion, that understanding, and that forgiveness inside of you. It was showing you how to love yourself as well. And when you needed to cover that cup so the poison couldn't be poured into it. And when you needed to open that cup because what was coming into it was nourishing. It also showed you who you truly are and where you truly want to be and what you truly want to do. What is worth acting on and what is not. What is in your best intentions and what is not. You're creating a very strong legacy to leave behind you. And this legacy is filled with love. It's filled with abundance. It's filled with fertility and growth. You're rising above the past situations and you're freeing yourself from anything that has been holding you back. And you are now ready to face this world and to express who you truly are, to put that out there into the open and to no longer hold yourself back because you feel in some way that you're inferior or you lack or your ideas are not good ideas or whatever it may be. All of these situations have led you to this energy of I am me. The song that's coming to mind right now. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch. I am gonna go get that bag and I am not gonna take your shit. You are definitely ready to be in your own power and not let anybody drag you down anymore. Not let anybody decide what your future is anymore, and not let anybody tell you that you're just dreaming. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. This is the time for you to make everything that you have been dreaming a reality in your life. And it's going to come through faith and persistence, dedication, commitment. It's going to come through manifesting it in and owning your power. The thought that just came to mind was the way that you perform magic. You want something and then you let yourself have it. Like the grandmother off of Halloween Town says. All you got to do is want something and you let yourself have it. And the older kids have a really hard time finding that magic inside themselves and bringing it out. Even Marnie, who really wants to believe in it and who has tried to believe in it regardless of how much her mother has covered it up throughout her whole life. She wants to believe in it, but has a much harder time than the little girl. The little girl is just like, turn the lock into a frog. Woohoo! There's a frog on the ground. We just got in. And everybody's like, how did you do that? But nobody actually sits and listens to how she did that. If they sat and listened to how she did that, then they might have actually been able to learn something. But who thinks that they can learn something from a child? You might want to start looking at the children in your life in a higher light and learning some stuff from them, because they really do have a lot to teach us as much as we have to teach them. But it requires us listening and not having so much pride that we think that we know everything and that they could never teach us anything that we don't know. There's a lot of things that we forgot that happened when we were children. There's a lot of things that we might have known back then that we don't know today, especially since the world shoved all these other things that are supposed to be real down our throat and told us any of the things we were believing then were not real. Maybe they were real. So really taking some time to sit down and listen to children is also something that's going to be amazing for you. It's going to give you a lot of new perspectives. Not to mention they're learning a lot of things at a much younger age than we were learning back then. So they do have a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of understandings that they could share with us too. And some of those are before the hurt and the pain. The hurt and the pain that caused us to be different people than we are today. The return. Your heart is black, feelings you lack. Call me when you need an ego boost, pride always home to roost. Honesty not even a part of your vocabulary, lies all around that you bury. So many languages that you speak, but your words rust like an antique. Upset when I move on, the feelings then start to dawn. Then you pull me back to play, games are your forte. Not that you really wanted me, you were just bored and wanted to see if I was still waiting for your call, even after you put me through it all. I wasn't waiting, I told you I don't. I don't feel guilty for you, I won't. Never lied and caused you pain, you caused this endless rain. I may have been ready to try something new, but you are still the same old you. It looks like you're not the one for me. I'll know when one has the key. Too busy trying to jimmy the lock. Too many people on the clock. Stop letting others control your life. Maybe then there won't be so much strife. You can't even hear the truth that I speak because it's not the truth that you seek. So, once again, with those situations from the past that have hurt you and brought you down, those situations that have fueled you forward, that have leveled you up, that have brought you out of that, and have also given you a new set of eyes to be able to see. See when other people are going to be doing the same thing. A journey to your passion within, a journey to find the light, leaving darkness no more fight, shame and guilt for passion's ease, time to cross to less choppy seas. It's always darkest before the dawn, face the darkness to move on, travel deep to find the pain, know your desires are not insane, enjoy the journey as you go, as storm clouds gather, go with the flow, enjoy the journey, enjoy the growth, to yourself, keep your oath. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate that. So, they found out that microdosing with shrooms is one of the best things that there is for PTSD and for depression or anxiety. You know what? I finally got to try them for the first time ever. I've been trying since I was 15, but every time something happens and I don't end up getting to try them. But I got to try them, and let me tell you, it definitely helps you to explore all those things and dive into them to understand them. And it opens your mind in very powerful ways. It's amazing the power that they want to keep away from you. Safe space to do these things. But yeah, it's amazing, some of those things that happen. The only way that you can move out of that darkness is to acknowledge its presence, face it, look it dead in the eye, and tell it, I am not afraid. I am not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of this situation. I have faith. And faith stands by my side through anything that comes my way. Sometimes we forget it. Sometimes we drop it, misplace it, but we can pick it right back up again. Pick that faith back up when it falls out of your grasp. Workaholic. Climb the ladder to the top. Never a break or time to stop. Remember rest and self-care. Don't leave yourself bare. Know what is truly important to you. Act accordingly in what you do. Don't quit. A rest is all you need. Show a good example in how you lead. Don't push yourself till it's too hard to bear, till you're writhing and pulling out your hair. Pull back and take a breath. Don't be the cause of your own death. So, there's this thing that's been popping up the last couple days about, people love their kids enough to be poor for them, but do they love them enough to be rich for them? What that requires a lot of times is a lot of sacrifices. What is truly important to you in your life? I spent a lot of October to December spending a lot of time on helping to heal some people. And yet again, only one of the people in this house saw the value that I was bringing. Everybody else, oh, you're taking advantage of me. Oh, really? When I first got here, I stayed in my RV and I took care of myself. And then they're like, oh, well, come in to eat, come in to eat, come in to eat, come in to eat. And then the other one's getting all mad at me because I wasn't over there to visit with her, and on and on and on and on and on. Basically ate up all the healing energy that I got. And, they gave back a bit too. But when they said that I was offering nothing to the table, I told them exactly what I was offering the table. And then I walked away. There was one person in that house that knew exactly what I was offering to the table that still comes and talks to me and also makes sure to bring me dinner occasionally. And some other things occasionally. There are going to be those who see your worth and your value and who are going to give it back or give back for it. And there's going to be those who don't. I stepped into that push myself a bit too much energy for a little bit there again. And I haven't been sick in 3 years because I haven't done that in 3 years. But I was really wanting to be able to, have a place for once that sees what I do. Somebody was even talking about really sore because of moving all the wood around. And I was like, well, you know what? For a little while there, you guys had somebody who was moving a lot of it around for you. Because you guys are a bit older and it's harder to do. And, you guys are doing stuff for me, so I'm going to do stuff for you. But now it's gone. Maybe those people will begin to realize some things. But either way, even if I did engage in that again, I wouldn't be doing as much as I was because I was doing far more than they were doing for me, regardless of whether or not they wanted to see it. So if they came back, they wouldn't be coming back to say, you need us. So I think we should repair this connection. Because I've had somebody do that. No, it would be, I'm sorry for being the way I was. And I do see the value that we were offering. And if they do that, then I could be like, well, I see the value I was offering too. And I won't be offering as much as I was before. Unless you guys are offering more to the table too. And that's called loving yourself, respecting yourself. That's also called not working yourself to the bone as a slave for other people who don't even see what you're doing for them. I bet it does break your heart, Rashima. It's really extra hard when it comes to parents seeing you that way. My mom sees me as the problem for everything. It breaks my heart that she sees me as the problem for everything. And at the same time, I'm not the problem for everything. And if you want to see me that way, I don't need to be in your life. Sometimes people learn to appreciate, and sometimes they don't. And sometimes people learn to be able to live with the way that they're feeling and still be around them without it killing them. Without other people's opinions or feelings causing them to feel bad about themselves. Abundance calls. You have the world at your feet. Don't fall for the deceit. Open your eyes to who you are. You don't need to reach too far. You have everything that you need inside, you see. So pull your heart and your mind free. Let go of anything that is holding you back. Trust me, darling, there's no lack. Live in gratitude this very day. Start to see things in a new way. Golden is what you are. You can go so very far. You are golden. We're golden. There's a song. Because we're golden. I don't remember any of the rest of the lyrics, but it's a rap. You have abundance at your feet, and you do not have to sacrifice yourself or become a slave worker. You can create it while keeping balance in your life, and you can create it much better while keeping balance in your life. You're welcome, sweetheart. 10 of Wands. The 4 of Cups. Yeah, don't be the cause of your own death. And the Devil. Be grateful for what's in front of you now, and know that you are creating more as you go. There's no point in creating the fruits of your labor if at the base of it is your death. If you kill yourself in the process, you never even get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So make sure that you're taking time out for you to just chill, to rest, to, if you need a few days for yourself, let people know. There's actually a lot of places anymore that are a lot more understanding about mental health days. I know a few people that have to consistently take mental health days to take care of themselves so that they can even handle being a part of this world. People used to did not recognize that as a thing. Actually, in fact, people got highly abused for even mentioning things like that because they're weak or they're whatever the fuck else they may want to say. But if taking those couple days of a break brings you peace and allows you to continue to be the beautiful person that you are, then those are very important. A little bird in my ear told me something. So if there's somebody that has been a little bird in your ear that has been filling you in with some sort of information, you might want to acknowledge their presence and acknowledge how that has really helped you, or how that has appreciate the signs, the synchronicities, and the messages that are coming your way on your path as well. I mostly stay away as well. Eventually, she will stop trying. My mom did call to say happy Thanksgiving. I hadn't talked to her in months, since July, when my ex and my kids went down there to see her without anybody telling me, because nobody wanted me down there because I'm the problem, apparently, and they didn't want any problems caused. And so, only reason I even knew they went is because my daughter posted a video on TikTok about it when they were on their way down to Elko. On Christmas, she did not call me and say Merry Christmas. And there's a big part of me that has been thinking since then, maybe I should call her and let her know that I do love her. At the same time, do I want to invite that back into my life? Because my whole life, all she has done is made me feel bad about me and who I am and what I do and what my skills are. And at the same time, a lot of us do that with our own kids as well. Sometimes those gaps can be bridged, and sometimes things can be healed, and sometimes they can't. But I keep getting messages that, people don't live forever. And at some point, she is going to be gone. We have some time left. What are we going to do with it? But everybody makes their own choice on that. There may have been a lot of times where you have given and given and given, and people had a lot that they could have gave back, but they chose not to. They gave very little. They gave the smallest amount in return for what you had offered to the table, because they did not see your value. They did not see your worth. They did not see what was right in front of them. Some of these people may actually be waking up at this point in time and realizing that they cut off their nose to spite their face. That this was something that they really could have used and needed in their life. That this was something that was very beneficial for them, this connection and this relationship, but that they did not value it or appreciate it the way that they should have. There may actually be some people who want to come in and gift you in some sort of way because they're seeing things from a different perspective now. They are ready to take action. They may not have been ready to take action in the past. There could have been some very strong attachments holding them back, or things that they were focused on, or things that they were dealing with that just really were not very good. There could have been some situations that you were dealing with that just really were not very good. Justice always balances the scale. And look at this. There's also the snake in the devil card, and then there's this snake in the justice card over here that's being cut in half. All of those things that have held you back, and all of those things that kept you stuck or stagnant for whatever reason, all of those signs and synchronicities that you may have not been paying attention to, all of the calls for action that could have been ignored, or that could have been, there could have been even a lot of calls of action that you took that you did not ignore, and people that you dealt with may have ignored their call to action. But it's a time now where a lot of people are coming to terms with the way things are. They're really seeing things from a different perspective now that they're kind of stuck, stopped in their tracks, delayed, held up in some sort of way. There may be this pause or this some sort of situation that has really made them stop and look at things and open their eyes to what it is that you had to offer while you were standing there with nothing, but you had everything behind you. This beautiful tree of knowledge and wisdom, this strength and stability, this rooted, grounded energy that you offered to the table, the support, the kindness, the compassion, the love, the care, the concern that you may have offered to the table that has now been taken away because it was not reciprocated by those that you loved. I'll put it this way. While I was busy not eating every night, my little brother was busy making about $3,500 a month. His new car was far more important than sending his sister $50 because he was judgmental about the life path I had chosen, and he didn't feel like I should be supported in it. He is now in the same position that I've been in for the last 3 years. And he may be seeing things very differently from the position that he's in than he used to. Those things happen in our lives to help us to be able to see things in a different perspective. That's why it's always so important that we look for the lessons with what we're dealing with that's in front of us. And everybody else is facing their own lessons as well. And sometimes those people heal, and sometimes they realize things, and sometimes they want to make amends, and sometimes they want to take responsibility and accountability. And sometimes those people are us doing that same thing. So when we do that, how do we want others to respond? Do we want them to hate us? Or do we want them to forgive us and show that love in return when we finally noticed what was in front of us and gave that love back? My mom, all of her crap and all of her bullshit and all of her everything, she was the one that, I'm going to try to send you $50 out of my check this month. And I'm like, Mom, don't even worry about that. You make $750 a month. You don't have enough to be sending me money. If I really wanted money and that's what I was going after, I would be able to go get it. But I don't want to take it from you when you have as little as you do yourself. So there may be somebody in your corner that you may not have acknowledged as being in your corner as much as well. Or maybe they were in your corner in some areas and not in others. And that's what caused the rift. Sometimes later on they will see why you were doing the things that you were doing. Done working for slave labor for that paper because we need them. Good song too. Or to Prophet. I don't remember what song it is, but it may be Metamorphosis, and it may be The Path Less Traveled. You could be seeing things that were missed before. Sides of people that were missed before. Sides of yourself that were missed before. There's a lot of healing, a lot of cleansing, a lot of renewal that is coming into you right now. And a lot of it could be because of spiritual-based medicines or natural-based medicines of some kind that you may have been interacting with. The storm that has been going on for a very long time is something that was meant to cleanse. On the movie Open Range, which they used to have on YouTube for free. I don't know if they do anymore, but on that movie, the lady's like, when they're talking about the storm and how bad it is, she's like, yep, every once in a while, a good storm comes through and washes this place as clean as a baby's bottom. That's what those storms are for. Those storms are so that you can cleanse, so that you can clear out the things that are no longer necessary, and so that you can rebuild afterwards. So that you can, without those storms too, I mean, there would be no rain, there would be no water, there would be no crops. All of those things have to happen to build what you're building. You may be feeling very alone at this current moment, or like there isn't a whole lot of solace around you. There definitely is. Right now, it might seem like the light won't come back, but deep inside, you are Daddy Mac. It's time to cleanse and rest your soul. Don't allow the burden to grow. Suppressing your tears can be poisonous. To yourself, don't be devious. Allow the grief to sweep over you. Just don't give away your control from that view. You'll still make it through. The other side is bright. Focus on the light. So, if you need to take time for a nice cleansing cry and to just let everything that hurts you and that brings you pain come out of you, do it. Because that is what will cleanse you and allow you to be able to turn things around. It'll allow you to be able to see things from a different view. It'll allow you to be able to let things go that are no longer good for you, that are no longer helping you in any way, but holding you back and hindering you. And it'll allow you to open up to some new views as well, things that you might have missed along the way. A healer's work. A healer's work is never through, always on to something new. In places some would say are scary, in a healer swoops like a fairy. In faith we gather in the most desolate of places, surrounded by downcast faces. As we move, light flows through. Faces turn happy from far too blue. Positivity, love and light, from your being all take flight. Bringing peace, bringing calm. Amazing to think of humans as a healing balm. I am happy to hear that because, like we were talking about, it is the most healing thing that you can do. As long as you don't get stuck in it. I've gotten stuck in it once or twice in my life. Probably more than that. I'm a Cancer. We like our emotions. We can live there sometimes. It's fun. So, leaving behind preconceived judgments and notions of what people should be or how they should be behaving or what they should be doing or where they should be going or how they should look or how they should feel. Those are so important things if you're going to be a healer and if you're going to lead others to healing. Because you have to be able to accept people exactly as they are right now and love them exactly as they are right now in order to guide and lead them. And you also got to be okay with the fact of if they are not wanting to follow that guidance, if they are not wanting to heal, if they are not wanting to pull themselves out of things. Because a healer doesn't just go, poof, you're healed. No, a healer has all the tools to facilitate a healing. And the person who comes in needing the healing is the one who has to make the choice on whether or not they want to have that healing or they want to walk away from it. They are also the ones responsible for whether or not they're bringing something to the table. And you're the one responsible for whether or not you're turning away people because they don't have anything to bring to the table. But people always have something to bring to the table. And you will notice and see the ones who are actually realizing what you're bringing to their life, appreciating it, and wanting to give back in whatever way that they can give back. Because not all of them have monetary means to give back, or not all of them have what it is that you're specifically wanting at that point in time, but they have something. So you got to keep your eyes open to see the true value in what it is that they're offering you too. And some of them, they're actually offering you their own personal form of healing too. Two healers running into each other and helping each other heal from the things that they've already healed from. That's also where leaving that pride at the door is a good idea too. Enough. I'm still here, filled with no fear. Can't take me out, can't fill me with doubt. Blessings rain down on me, divine grace for all to see. Give it up to the Most High, raise your hands up to the sky. Reach down to the earth too, because she's here too. Rising up From down low, these are the seeds that I sow. My fruit is sweet. Pull up a seat. Follow me if you dare. There is always enough here to share. The more we share, the more we're gonna get. The song from All Dogs Go to Heaven. The whole theme from that movie has been popping up consistently this week, but that's right. The more we share, the more we're gonna get. When you leave that door open, and when you're willing to give, and you're open to receiving, it can flow nice and easily, in and out. When you're blocking the flow one way or another by holding back and refusing to give, or by refusing to let others help you when they reach out to give to you, then that flow is stopped. When you help someone and it feels like nothing is coming back for that help, something always comes back. So feel like something is coming back, because it is. That love you put in was not a waste. It was never a waste. It was a beautiful thing, and you gave from your heart. And in doing so, the universe decided, hey, we're going to give back to you too. But if you fucking slammed your door and locked it and closed it tight and decided, I don't want anybody in here ever again because everybody just took from me and shit all over me, then the universe can't give you whatever they have right there for you. So you got to make sure to keep that door open, regardless of the people that have abused that door. It's kind of like when, say they stop letting everyone use a certain area because of the actions of a few. There's been a few people who have abused that privilege and who have tore things up, or who have vandalized it, or who have whatever the case may be. And usually those aren't the ones that are actually benefiting from the resource that these people are here to use. It's the ones trying to close down those resources that are generally doing things like that. The people who are using those resources wouldn't be doing that because they're grateful for the resources that they have in front of them. But now nobody can use them because there's a few who have abused that privilege. So you're blaming a collective of people for the actions of a few, instead of realizing that each new person that comes through has the chance to be someone that's going to do right by that situation. And each person that comes through has the option to be the person that's going to do wrong by that situation. But you can't punish everyone for the actions of a few people. Eight of Swords, Nine of Cups, and Six of Cups. Try not to get stuck in overly analyzing situations, overly thinking about situations, trying to logically justify situations, or trying to, don't get so stuck in your mind that your heart turns to stone. When you realize that emotionally you need nothing outside of yourself to be happy, content, and at peace, that's when you find the true gifts. That's when your wishes really, truly do come true. There could definitely be a lot of pain that is being healed from childhood. Thank you so much, Shara. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and the donations, everybody. I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for the purchases, too. Thank you for the support, and thank you for trusting me to guide you guys at this time. There are those who see what you have done and who are going to be giving back for what you have done. There are those that you have helped in the past who know the challenges you're facing at this time, and who are going to be there to help you overcome, or who are going to be there to help you grow what you've been growing for a very long time. Crows are amazing animals. There's a lot of people that are afraid of them, or who think they're evil because they're black, and everybody just judges things by colors or by appearance or whatever the fuck else. But any human that could think any kind of animal was evil is pretty funny to me. Because when wolves attack something, they're either defending their family or they're hunting for food. They're not doing it just to attack something, but there's plenty of people on this earth that have done that just to attack something because they like to watch it wiggle and squiggle and watch it writhe in pain and agony. But crows will actually remember the kindness that you have showed them, and they will bring it back to you. They will bring you little gifts and trinkets just out of nowhere. When they find something awesome, they're like, hey, I remember that person that helped me out that time and fed me that day. I'm going to take this to that person. They also remember the horrible things that people do to them. And sometimes they will come and shit all over their porch because of it, or, whatever random things. And they remember those things for generations to come. Lost Stars Legacy. Listen to that song. And you have to make it through the last verse. If you're like me, you like to change the song in the middle of it a lot, but you have to make it through the last verse because the last verse changes it. And it's a really good song. No worries on it being late. Happy New Year, beautiful. Thank you for being here today. And maybe you were just meant to miss those couple. So, once you know that you are perfectly fine on your own, emotionally, you can take care of yourself emotionally. You don't need the outside to build you up. That's when you're not just going to accept anything in because you feel like you need it. It's also when you are able to find that peace and that happiness no matter what is going on around you. So if you have been down and out in some sort of area of your life for the last few years or something along those lines, then it was put into place so that you could understand and see that happiness is found anywhere. At one point in time, there was somebody I was talking to that was, I really want to move to Vegas. I really want to move to Vegas. I really want to move to Vegas, but I can't because my little sister and I got to take care of her and I love her so much and I have to stay here for her. And I'm like, well, if you have to stay here for her, then you have to find a way to be happy about the choice that you are making to stay here for her. And if you can't find a way to be happy about that choice, then make a different choice. But if you can be happy there, then you can be happy anywhere. It's all what is most important to you and what is a priority at this time. And if it's only a couple more years that you need to stay here, then you can stay here and you can take care of that. And then you can go take care of the other things. Although you still have to decide which one is more important to you because we could die at any time. And if you didn't do whatever it is today, would you regret that if you died tomorrow? I kind of decided, you know what? I could travel the world after I'm dead if I need to. I would like to at some point. But my kids are here and I am here with my kids because that is what's most important to me, which means I can be happy being here with my kids, even if that means that I'm in the position that I'm in. And it's a lot harder and I have to fight against a lot more in order to create what I'm creating because it's a small Christian community that is literally hell in disguise. Just saying. Sometimes when things look perfect from the outside, they're far more decayed underneath. The Page of Swords, the Magician, the Star, and the Four of Cups. So, you have all the skills, tools, abilities, everything that you need inside of you to create the life of your dreams, the vision of your dreams. There may be a lot of people that are watching you right now, watching you go through this overthinking energy, watching you decide whether or not you have that power inside of you, watching you come out of the dark, watching you focus on the light, even when you're at your lowest point. There could actually be a lot of people that are very inspired by what it is that you are doing in your life currently and about all of the healing of connections you've been doing as well, because there could be a lot of healing of connections that has been going on. There's been a lot of healing of your inner child. There's been a lot of healing of your wounds. There's been a lot of freeing yourself that's been going on, and you may have been doing it completely alone. But you might not realize that there are a lot of people that are watching this and very inspired by this, that are seeing it. And it's really going to help when it comes to you breaking free and going after your star. There's going to be a lot of support behind that. Cancer is my sun sign. It's also in my 6th house of family. So, it's no wonder I chose to be around my children when I could have chose other things. Not everybody gets that chance to choose that either. Your communication is really going to shift a lot of things as well. But when you're stuck in that overthinking energy, you can't even figure out what you want to say, or you don't even know what to say, and you start creating all kinds of things inside your mind. It causes a lot of despair in the world around you. Do you want to be creating the world around you through the overthinking, or do you want to be creating the world around you through that peaceful thinking, through that calm thinking, through that belief, through that faith, through the love and through the light? You have the ability to free yourself now and become more independent, to learn about what it is that you want to learn about and not what others feel like is something you should learn about, to take action to go after what it is that you want. You have this ability to be able to curiously follow whatever it is that you feel like is your star. Jacob Lee Conscience. We have our dreams for a reason. Every one of us. And if those dreams are put there, you can make them come true. There may also be friendships or connections that are right behind you that you may not be seeing, that are supporting you, that are believing in you, but there's been so much darkness, so much hurt, so much pain from other connections that it might be really hard to even see these people. Just like some people may have had a hard time seeing you at points in the past and what you were in their life and how you helped them. So remember to take a look around you once in a while and to really see who might actually be in your corner, because there may be more people in your corner than you think there is. So, I'm going to do a closeout message. And if there's anybody else who wants to be able to get in a question, now would be the time to do it. And I will answer one more question before I sign off too. Thank you guys again for all the likes, shares, comments, subscribes, any of the support you give me, whether it be on this channel or my other channel. And I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for the donations as well and the purchases. You guys really do make a very big difference in my life, and I appreciate you so much for that. Let's see what this last message for us is. It's going to be a long one too, because they're like, ooh, here, have everything in this pile. You are worthy. You're very welcome, sweetheart. And thank you for that too. You are worthy. Know it's true. Love everything that makes you you. No more seeing yourself as less. No more mind in a mess. Healing comes to you now. You will see and know it's true. Love yourself as you'd love another. Love yourself like your own mother. No more questions on if you deserve. Throw a curve. Make sure you swerve. If it's not up to par, no more settling for below the bar. You are meant for so much more. Believe it's true and open the door. You are worthy of your dreams coming true. Thank you. Manifestation. It's not something that you do in a blink of an eye. It's not like a magician in a movie. The magician uses balance of mind, body, heart, and soul. He is practical, plans, works hard, makes decisions, and acts on them decisively. He is solid and committed to his goal. He puts his passions and emotions in all of his works. The creator creates, but it is through a rigorous process of mastering those abilities and putting them to use. He also uses his imagination, mind's eye, and intuitive abilities. He's patient, yet determined and motivated. He not only goes after the opportunities, but also creates them. She works smart and hard. It won't be overnight. It will take patience, trust, perseverance, and faith. Give your creations time. After all, the journey is the best part. I'm going to answer your question first, and then I will finish the closeout one. Who's in your corner that you may not be seeing? Happiness is a choice. Who should I please at the end of the day, throwing chaos in the fray? I choose myself to please, and I'm at ease, for I know tomorrow there'll be no regrets. As most people are building sets made for actors come to play, I'll still be here after that day. I choose the road of far too few. I refuse to give my happiness to you. In pleasing others, dreams go to die. You only wind up living a lie. If I die tomorrow, I will know. So much harvest my seeds will sow. I choose my purpose. I went over your head. I will never truly be dead. So, taking the path less traveled and being the person that you are and deciding not to allow anybody else's thoughts, opinions, or beliefs to get in the way can sometimes be a very hard thing. And yes, it is extremely hard to see who is in your corner when you're doing that, because there's a lot of people who rise up against you to bring you down or to try to keep you where you are or to tell you that your dreams won't come true. And a lot of that's because theirs never did, because they never took the time, the effort, or the attention to bring them to life. And some of them are jealous or bitter, and some of them are just a realistic person, somebody that is never going to believe in anything, even if it's right in front of their fucking face. They just aren't going to believe in it. So, Five of Wands, the High Priestess. We're not meant to know everything, and it's time to take a leap of faith. You have a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of understanding that you've built up inside of yourself. There may be a lot of arguments, there may be a lot of fighting, there may be a lot of competition, there may be a lot of everybody competing, comparing, feeling out of sorts, or like everything's a mess. It may be time to dive into that water, the emotional waters, to dive deep down into those emotional waters, to really understand. Not going to drown in the water is coming to mind as well. You might think that if you dive in, it will be something that will consume you. And also you could be worried about betrayal a lot. You could have had a lot of betrayal. You could have left a lot of betrayal in your wake. And so you may be very worried about betrayal. But this is the time to act. It's the time to express yourself. It's the time to move. It's the time to go forward. And it's time to leave the past in the past. You might be fearing the fray that's right in front of you. And there could actually be a few people around you right now where there might be a little bit of discord and disharmony. People might be trying to voice their opinions. People might be trying to be heard, might be trying to be seen. And in this situation, the voice that you have can really shift and change things very much. But it's going to require you to overcome that fear of expressing yourself. It's time to show your power, and it's time to show what you have inside of you. And this is going to help you to figure out which ones are which. There could definitely be a friend of a friend that you might be a little bit worried about too. You might be worried that this friend of a friend or friend of a romantic partner, it's like a third party type of friend that's off to the side. You might be worried that this person is going to cause a lot of disarray or a lot of disruption. But this person is here to cause transformations in some sort of way. This person may actually be freeing themselves in some sort of way from those types of situations as well. And your words can help them to be able to blossom and bloom. I feel like there is definitely some people's interests. There are definitely some people around you that have your best interests at heart. They want to see you in this strong, stable, solid energy, owning your power. They want to see you moving forward. And you may be feeling like these people want to hold you back in some sort of way, when in reality, these people might actually just be dealing with their own burdens that they're carrying around too. And so they could be having a hard time leveling up themselves in their life. but they definitely want to see you continue to level up in your life. This is reminding me of, there was one time I discussed with somebody that it's like I'm a walking tower moment. I come into people's lives and the whole thing just levels. It levels. It's like a fucking bomb went off in the basement and tore everything down so they could rebuild it back up. And I have the tools and skills and knowledge that they need to rebuild it back up. Some of them choose to build the same faulty foundation and the same faulty tower, but some choose to escape that cycle. I feel like there's definitely a lot of situations that have come crashing down for you, but these situations have come crashing down for you, not against you. And it was so that you could really learn how to rebuild yourself with a solid foundation inside, to where other people's actions and other people's thoughts, opinions, or beliefs are not controlling what you are doing or where you're going or how you are living your life. And right now is a test of that commitment on whether or not you are going to continue to shine your voice and whether or not you're going to continue to be the independent person you are, or you're going to morph into these people instead of helping these people to morph into something better in their life. And vice versa, morphing yourself into something better through the connections that you have around you. There are definitely some people around you right now that would go down with that tower if it fell down, if it came crumbling down on you. You may have prayed for this. You may have actually, I need something real in my life, people who would actually catch me if I was down and out. You have people around you right now that would, even if you never have before. At least 2 of them. And I'm pretty sure you know exactly who they are. So, I hope that helped. And back to the closeout message. New doors. Too much time wasted on fear and doubt. Turn that energy inside out. Walk away from what doesn't serve. Go on now, get the nerve. It's time to take action for real. Only you can seal the deal. No more crying over the past. Sometimes things aren't meant to last. That's okay, there's something new. If you let go, it'll open for you. New doors await your release. Unworthy feelings need to cease. Time to see your worth inside. You deserve someone who is on your side. Others didn't see you right. Their minds trapped in the night. Rejection is protection, it is true. Because of rejection, you'll find your true crew. Regrets left in the past, you will no longer be left for last. 2/22/22. This poem definitely went with that message very well too. I am so glad that you are trying to trust it, and make sure that you are voicing your own beliefs too, that you're putting those things out there, that you are setting your boundaries, that you're telling people what it is to respect you and things like that as well, but that you're also respecting theirs when they say them. Rejection is something that has happened to the best of us all the time. There's been a lot of it in my life. It's time to let go of all of those situations where people were just not up to par, where they just did not put in the effort that you did, where they did not put in the support, the time, the energy, the care that you did, where they walked away or laughed in your face or treated you like you were second best in some way. It's time to let go of all of that. And it's time to realize that all of those situations happened because those were not the people for you. But now there's definitely some new doors that are opening for you, where there is going to be a lot of good things coming in. And a lot of it is because you have finally decided that you are worthy of having that love, that care, that joy, and that happiness in the connections that you have in your life. Hidden pain. I cry these silent tears today. Compassion has never come my way. If I'm upset, it's always crazy. All my thoughts are so hazy. I'm always there to give a hug. My heartstrings, they always tug. But on the flip side, I'm alone. No one enters that crazy zone. I'm treated as less for my tears or opening up and expressing my fears. It's allowed for all but me. I'm tired of not being free. Why is it okay for others to cry, but when it's me, they can't understand why? I haven't always been the best on this front. Accused others like me of having a front. All because it was done to me. I now know better and set you free. So, if you've ever been upset or mad at somebody for crying or for expressing their fears in some way, feeling like it was like they were blaming you in some sort of way or something along those lines, or you've lashed out at them or you've walked away from them for those reasons, for becoming vulnerable in that way, you have learned how not to do that anymore. And you are also learning how to express yourself and be vulnerable, and that there are some people who will be there when you are, even if others won't. I called my mom up one time and I told her, I am so sorry that that man made you feel like you were nothing and like you couldn't do anything, like you were the scum of the earth and that you were so stupid, because you are fucking amazing. You are smart. You are wonderful. You are awesome. And you are so strong. I'm so glad that you're seeing some of that again. And you know what she told me? She told me that I needed to go check myself into a mental institute. Because I was upset when I said it. Because I was manic. I'm trying to tell you good things about yourself and you're going to tell me I'm crazy because my emotions are high when I'm talking about it. I have emotions. You have emotions. We're supposed to have emotions. But people are crazy for having emotions and we're all just supposed to be a robot. No, we're not. We all have those emotions and we should be able to express those emotions without people around us telling us that we're crazy. Breaking free. And sometimes we come up with crazy scenarios in our overthinking, fear-based generated crap. And you know what? Having somebody around to tell you it's okay. And you know what? Those things could be real. They may not be real, but it don't matter. What matters right now is the fact that what you're doing to yourself is not healthy. And it's causing you to be really upset. Wouldn't it be better to be in a state of peace? So maybe we should just calm down and not worry about what we don't know about yet and let things unfold naturally as they're supposed to unfold. And what is so wrong with sitting down with somebody and telling them that? And holding their hand while they're afraid or upset or hurt. Just being there for them. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's a lot of people who do that, who haven't had many people do that for them. But there's definitely people that will do that. If you're here, then there's other people like you here. You're very welcome, sweetheart. Thank you as well. Breaking free. Let the light in your heart strive forth. Listen to its call and find your true north. Break the chains of the past. Free yourself at last. Allow your light to shine bright. Everything will be all right. As your mask falls away, you'll see the light of a new day. As doors close, you'll be shown the path that is yours and yours alone. So, I love that 78 is up there right now. Anyway, as you shed this mask of having to be perfect, of having to keep up this facade, of having to hide your tears, of having to hide your fears, of having to keep everything you are behind closed doors, because if people see it, they're going to attack it. Like a lot of tarot readers will actually tell you that you should hide everything you're doing. A lot of them that follow me secretly and take my wisdom and knowledge, but don't support me publicly and have really transformed who they are. I am so happy they have, regardless of whether or not they have given me that credit, regardless of whether or not they have, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter that they're copying me, and it doesn't matter that they're, it don't matter, because they're still spreading that same message, that message of be who you are and put it out there in the open. How is anybody ever supposed to see any of the beauty that you bring to this world if you hide it all away? They can't. And yes, it is hard to trust putting it out there, and you may get a little paranoid. You may get a little fearful. You may get a little doubt-filled. But that's not the energy that you need to drive into. You need to drive into that energy of faith. That energy of I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. That energy of I am protected. And you know what? Even if I do die today, it was my time to die, and that's okay. Because I'm going to do what I love. And if people want to try to take it from me, they can't, because this is me, and this is who I am. Nobody can replicate me. They can try, but they're still not going to be me. And if I was ever gone, they would have no direction on which way to even go, because they're too busy following me rather than finding that light inside themselves and putting it out there. Cherry Red. Hey there, Cherry Red. Come and talk to me instead. Nah, I'm good. You be feeling too hood. I stand my ground, not easy prey. Look around, you just can't stay. Standing truly in my power, minute after minute, hour after hour. I'm a woman who knows her worth, regardless of rank or of birth. So when you see this cherry red, be careful how you tread. I also feel like people know at this point not to fuck with you because they've seen your power, they've seen your strength. Even though a lot of it was hidden, there was people who attacked you while it was hidden because they thought that you were easy prey. But now that you are starting to bring it out and show who you are and express who you are, and people are starting to see the ones that have failed in attacking you, they're like, oh no, I'm not going to attack that. That is definitely not something I want to do because that is something that's going to bring me down. It ain't going to bring them down. You have really shown your strength. You've shown your ability to move away from things that aren't good for you. You've shown your ability to be able to continue forward regardless of how many swords people want to throw in your direction. Now is the time for movement. Now is the time to be crossing the water, to be crossing to less choppy seas. You know what you want, and it is a fiery passion inside of you that is guiding this force. Take that action to go after what it is that you want. To bring the messages forth that you feel like need to be heard and seen, to express yourself, and to let any fear of that fall away. Your voice is powerful, and it creates amazing changes in this world. Fear keeps you from that. The fear of others taking your money, or the fear of others taking your ideas, or the fear of others taking what you have to offer and creating it into their own thing. But it doesn't matter how many people attack you, and it doesn't matter how many people try to be you, and it doesn't matter how many people try to destroy you, because you're still here. And you're still creating, and you're still distributing, and you're still putting it out there. And the more that it's seen, the more that it's known, heard, felt, understood, the more people are like, this is where that's coming from. They find the source of that light, that inspiration, that motivation, that drive, and that power. You've found your source, and your source guides you forward, and others will find that source too, where it really came from. The golden egg, the crocodile, the raccoon, and the scorpion. Those who are stealing or copying at the end of the day do not feel like they are good enough. They do not feel like the messages that they have to put out there are strong enough. They don't believe in those messages. And so when they see a new power come in, they shift their messages to that power because they don't have that guiding light of their own inside of them. They don't have that strong voice inside themselves that tells them, hey, this is the way. They don't really believe in what they're expressing. And they just shift it and change it for whatever new idea comes in. Sometimes they take them and hoard them. They may observe everything that you're doing. They may see it as a golden opportunity to be able to level up or ascend in some way. And you may have spent a lot of time defending it or expressing your anger over it, or maybe even having really harsh words to say about it. But now you're just at peace with it. And if not, you soon will be. You're at peace with the fact that they find you inspiring and that they want to follow your lead. You're also at peace with the fact that they are putting your messages out in the world, even if it's not coming from you, and you don't need that recognition. It'll come when it's meant to anyway. Everything is exposed at some point. There is a golden opportunity for you to completely unveil yourself and put yourself out there on Front Street where you may be extremely scared to be. But you're going to find that your fears were for nothing. Because putting yourself out there on Front Street is how people see that it is you that's leading this charge. And once they find you, they're going to realize that this is something to protect, nourish, care for, love, and spread. And it's not something to take advantage of. It's not something to steal from. It's not something to use and abuse. But it is something to cherish and value and lift up. So that is what I have for today's reading. I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you to anybody and everybody who has made a purchase today or donated. If you'd like to be able to do that, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, and Amazon wish list in the description box below. Thank you as well to anybody who has liked, commented, shared, or subscribed on this channel or my other channel. My other channel, Dee's Storytime, you can find a link for it in the description box below. And all of my poems that were read in this reading today can be found over there. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for trusting in my guidance on your journey. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.